Hi good people, and welcome back to my channel once again, The Way I See It with Rachel Wainaina. Asante sana for always following my channel, for subscribing to my content. I really do appreciate you, and I'm gonna make sure I react to each and everything I can that really touches on things that I care about. This week, we've been treated to a lot of politics, and therefore that explains why my reactions are mostly on political stories and all that. So this morning, it was very shocking to look at the papers and the mainstream media reporting that, there was this NHIF staff who was shot, who died. She fell on the street in Kaunda Street and died a few days ago, like 3 days ago. Then a post-mortem was being done on her body, and the pathologist discovered there was a bullet in her lungs. Now, when I started following up this story, I could not believe it, because according to the people who were with Lilian Waithera, and I'm going to tell you why this is a political case, the staff of NHIF who are with Lilian Waithera say that they all decided to walk from NHIF building in Upper Hill, and they were walking going home. So when they reached in that street, according to one of Waithera's friends, she says Waithera started saying that she can't breathe, and she collapsed on the floor, and people came in to try and help her. They called an ambulance, which responded really quickly, and by the time the EMTs came on the ground, they checked her pulse and everything, and they were able to declare her dead on the scene. The big question that I had on my head was like,
the bullet went into her body through the collarbone before stopping in the lungs.
How does somebody get shot? Nobody hears anything. Nobody sees that that's a bullet shot that has shot her, until even the EMTs don't know anything. No blood is found on the scene. And then when this person is taken for post-mortem, actually, according to the police reports, initial police reports, they had said that Lilian Waithera died of natural causes. It's like she had a heart attack in the streets of Nairobi. To me, this looks like a very nice movie. I think we should make a movie like this one.
Whether it was a case of coincidence or she was a target for assassination is the puzzle that detectives are seeking to unravel.
How do you find a bullet in somebody's lungs, and then you're telling me that she died out of natural causes? Detectives from, CID reported the first day that this lady died of natural causes. She just fainted on the streets of Kaunda Street. Now, today we were treated to shocking news that a bullet was found in her lungs. Now that becomes a criminal story, becomes a murder investigation very many days after the murder. And according to the pathologist who performed this post-mortem, he says that the bullet that hit her came from a higher angle. Okay? So she was hit by a bullet from a high angle. That means that's a sniper. All right? So the conversation on the street is that, and this is not just conversation, there's this group, it's called National Human Rights Watch. Let me read for you what they said today. They released a memo, and they said that the Human Rights Watch group say that this lady was the whistleblower in a scandal that involved the CEO of the NHIF fund. You remember the CEO of NHIF fund had been taken to court, Geoffrey Mwangi, and Ruto reinstated him and put him on as the CEO of National Hospital Insurance Fund. So people are saying that he's the one who killed her. He hired a professional sniper to kill this lady, because recently the Director of Public Prosecution withdrew the case against him. But as you know, when you withdraw a case which is in court and the prosecutor withdraws, they withdraw it under a clause in the Constitution that allows them to bring back the case in case any further evidence is there. So obviously, people would be assuming that that the information that can be gotten from a witness can be very destroying to somebody or instrumental in restricting a case. So there's rumors that this lady was the whistleblower. Remember, these are rumors. Politicians always will put out anything, and even these human rights players, sometimes they just put out any information depending on what they want you to hear. And the funny thing that I saw in this, the Human Rights Watch actually did this letter, put it online, and then they came back and said that that letter was fake. But that's how they will work. If it's the US Embassy trying to put out a letter, that's how they'll work. They'll come and tell you, this letter was fake. And then they have already gotten the information to the public that they wanted the public to get. And this information is about the government's alleged government assassination of people who can incriminate very strong people who are driving this government. We all know that NHIF is just a hub for corruption, to be honest. And it has a record of so many Kenyans and everybody paying money into NHIF, and the accountability has not been fully done because we don't have everything digitized at NHIF. And we've not been told how our money at NHIF is actually used, apart from paying medical bills, of which some hospitals also complain and say they've never been paid for the last 2 years by NHIF for the patients they treated and the ones they clearly released. So you find such information is very destroying, and just wonder why a normal worker at National Hospital Insurance Fund would just die like that in the streets. And then just we wake up to news that they've been shot by a sniper. And there was no drop of blood. I know in science maybe it's possible, and in biology it's possible. But I wonder, so that a bullet can be able to hit your lung and kill you instantly, do you just think about it biologically? Do you think that the bullet would have passed all the blood vessels without rupturing one? So that there was no internal bleeding, there was no external bleeding, there was no sign of force, or nobody had the sound of a gunshot. And now we have a gunshot in her lungs. I don't know the answer to these questions, but Lilian Waithera and her family, we are so sorry about what happened, and we just wanted to react as Kenyans and say we are back to dark days, because if these are the things that will start happening, then we should be sorry. These are things we watch in movies. We've seen hijackings, we've seen politicians being poisoned. But now that in the streets of Nairobi there can be a sniper in a building who will hit you with a silent bullet, and police will come on the scene of crime, not realize that you were shot, not pick any evidence, and then just, these things are discovered when all the evidence is destroyed. Remember, where this incident happened is a public street. So even if they were to go back there now, there is no evidence they can get. So the family of Lilian Waithera will never get any justice. And if it's true, this was about a corruption scandal, you should be scared to know who are the cartels in Kenya, because actually the top tier of opposition and government politicians are on top of these cartels. Let's not lie to each other. So why is it that a whistleblower like this would be killed? It's it's something that we should always condemn and follow up for answers as Kenyans. I want to add my voice to all the human rights fighters in Kenya who want to find a place to live in a country where there's justice, and when you become somebody who exposes corruption, you're not killed. We have had enough. Jacob Juma was killed, from a long time ago. We've had Oko was killed. All these people, Mtula Kilonzo, our senior counsel, was also killed in the same. Former interior ministers have also been killed in Kenya because of this. Saitoti died. So many people have lost their lives. And we believe, obviously, it's because they had information, political information. So watch out when you're collaborating with government to set somebody up.
Government eats their own people. This government is going to punish you more than they'll punish me. I'm telling you.
Because government eats its own people. Government will always eat its own people. Thank you very much. See you in another episode. That was a short review of reaction of Lilian Waithera's murder.
Anybody who anajua Mary, for heaven's sake, God, Mary is just an innocent soul. Yeye kazi yake ni kusaidia watu. She loves helping. Mary should help anybody. Hata kuwa na shida ya nini, ukiwa shida ya kadi, despite who you are, atakaye kujua, she'll help you.
My condolences to her family. And I know when somebody is dead, you don't need to talk about them so much in the African culture. But today's events were nothing less than shocking. So subscribe to my channel if you like the kind of content that I'm doing. And if you have any opinion, comments, let me know what you think about her murder. Do you believe this was a political assassination due to her being a snitch? Or what do you think? Thank you very much, and see you next time in The Way I See It with Rachel Wainaina.